Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Well, apparently it's a fishing tourney. The springtime? I was like, what season are we in? Springtime fishing tourney. How exciting. We, of course, will not be participating. And I'm going to be setting metadata for my videos at the same time. I was going to start recording the new story series following on from For the Porcupine today, in Stars and Time. As it turns out though, I cannot yet because I have not finished the thumbnail art for it, and it is a game which has a square resolution in the window, so I need to create a border for it as well. But hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow it's 5:53 PM on Saturday, April 11th, 2026. So I mean, I technically could record it and then basically I edit in the border afterwards and then re-render the entire video, but I'm also like, I don't really want to do that, to be honest. That's a lot of effort. So instead, what I do is I do the editing in the OBS. I create a frame for it to be captured in. And then, yeah, I just turn it on every time I record. It turns out also in Stars and Time has to be recorded using a Windows record rather than the game capture for some reason. I don't know. So instead I recorded more 9 souls, and we've finally done all the collectathons before we start heading on into the final area. I think, at least. From what I can tell. So that it was basically like a 6-episode or something detour of like closing up any loose ends we had. I don't know why I'm running out of my island, we're just going to sit here and chill. So I've got a lot of 9 souls episodes recorded well in advance, almost probably to a point where I go on holiday. In fact, I don't even know when this one's meant to be published. Hold on, I didn't check this. I'll temporarily put it in the Animal Crossing time slot and then scroll up to check. So April 22nd. So this one is going to be for April 25th. It's almost at the point I start my holiday. It's going to be really awkward if 9 souls finishes just before my entire holiday finishes, but I don't think it will. So okay, what did I say? April 24th? I immediately forgot. So yeah, I'm just going to set some metadata. But apart from that, what else? How's it going? We've completed another Rabbit and Steel run on Lunar difficulty for the extra bosses. I will say I am like deteriorating in the bosses. I can like feel it. Because some of the bosses, which like I feel like the last time we played, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing like decently well, but you know, there's obviously still some challenges. But now I feel like I'm very much deteriorating. Like I've completely forgotten how to do some of the bosses. But one I was really surprised at how badly I was doing on was the shy dragon, the green dragon in the Dark House Depths. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. Because I was just absolutely shocked at how badly I was doing in that fight, but I don't know. We did finally manage to do it. I played Ancient, my friend played Heavy Blade, and now we moved on to the next random combination, which is Shadow. She's playing Shadow Rabbit, I'm playing Grenadier. That has been pretty challenging so far, because I started a Dancer and Ancient, or the first two I randomed into, and they're both, I think, very strong characters. Grenadier's okay, but needs some very specific things, I think. So yeah, I've got 9 souls recorded all the way until May. So not quite when I get onto holiday. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How? Am I even going to stream in May? Because I'm back then. Oh, I actually do have time to do probably 2 streams in May. One right at the beginning, one right at the end. That's going to be interesting. But apart from that, what else? I finished the Honkai Star Rail story quest. I'm starting the Genshin one. The Genshin character quest for Linnea. Mainly because I want to get the materials, and that's I'm basically doing the character quest, and I do have a bit more of the Archon quest done, to be honest. I think I'm about halfway through Paralogism. ZZZ's on the back burner, but apparently the most recent ZZZ story quests are actually pretty good. Like apparently it's 2.1, 2.0 is a good setup, 2.1 is pretty good, 2.2 is fine, 2.3 and 2.4 I hear are bad, 2.5 I don't even know, but 2.6 and 2.7, which I think are the 2 most recent ones, are apparently very good, so I don't know, apparently they're putting it back. But this will probably be like the final one before they move on to the next, no, it's the penultimate one before they move on to the next region, is my assumption. I don't actually know though. But yeah, that's all gadget talk, I suppose. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. Actually, I can talk about what we did in drawing club yesterday. The prompt was, making inanimate objects people, or if you want to use the Japanese term, Gijinka, if you've seen it before, where you basically get something and then you make it a person based off that item. Like, I'm sure if you just search like Gijinka, you'll probably see. Oh, Gijinka is literally the Japanese term for anthropomorphization. So yeah, we're basically anthropomorphizing things. And yes, the concept is we had to do it through with inanimate objects. I wasn't there for the generation of this prompt, which is totally fine. I'm normally like one of the last ones to actually join in. Drawing club mainly because I need to like record things. So I normally join afterwards. So I think I basically just joined. My friends were like, "Dear darling, you're doing bag of flour," and I was like, "Okay, sounds good. What does that mean?" But it's pretty cool. Like my friends had a concept, so one had hair ribbon, one had letter opener, one had box of tissues, I had bag of flour, and another friend had a stop sign. And apparently there was a story behind it as well, where apparently they random it for me, because normally if someone's not there, we'll random the prompt once it's been chosen. And they randomed for me hair ribbon, and they were like, hair ribbon is too dear darling, like coded. Like we had to give her something else or something along those lines. So someone else took it, and then a friend who is not part of the drawing club suggested bag of flour because he wanted to see what bag of flour would even look like anthropomorphized. And they were like, "Yeah, let's give it to dear darling," which I said that's really funny, and I'm fully approve of that, to be honest, because hair ribbon is probably way too much of a comfort for me. I mean, look how much I incorporate ribbons. I mean, a ribbon is basically Dee's motif, isn't it? So. Of course, it'd be way too easy for me to incorporate it into something. And a bag of flour is like, that's really interesting because there's not really a lot to a bag of flour, mind you. It's like, what can you do with a bag of flour? Because a bag of flour is literally just a sack. I mean, but there's two types of bag of flours, is what I ended up sort of drawing upon. There's, of course, the burlap bag of flour, which is like a very sort of farmstead, huge bag of flour. And then there's also the ones that you buy in like the supermarkets, which are like these paper bags. So what I ended up doing, thinking about it, was like I wanted someone who had like this like really curly white hair to represent the flower, and then they'd be wearing like this off-shoulder sort of dress with like a sort of fastened rope around the middle to kind of look like that sort of cinched bag. And then yeah, it would look like basically like an open sack, and then I wanted something above the sort of off-shoulder thing to be white, to be like a flower. So I did like a sort of sleeveless turtleneck thing, which is probably a bit of a weird. It's not the most outrageous thing. Like sleeveless turtleneck is a thing, but normally if you would wear it with an off-shoulder thing, it would probably be like an off-shoulder like hoodie rather than I think an off-shoulder dress necessarily. But all in the name of giving a shape. And then I was like, that's the basis of like the costuming I want. I also want like these really loose socks to look up, like to sort of give it a connotation of like held up flower down at my feet. And then the rest of it was like, okay, now the rest of the accoutrements, the rest of the accessories will tie it together to be like an actual outfit. So she's wearing like this sort of like head bandana thing, which has like two other ties coming out at the top to be like the little like flat things at the end of those big bags of flour. And then the shoes were just chosen to be much more practical because I was like, well, what she should be? Maybe she should be like a farmer or something, or like a baker. So she's got like a pretty strong build as well, and yeah, that's why I ended up drawing. I actually quite like it, to be honest. And then I put in like just a small accessory, but she's got like an earring, which is a bag of flour, because I was like, why not? My original plan was even to have like, because the character I drew was quite dark skinned, because I thought it gave a nicer contrast to the white hair and everything. But I was like, maybe we could do like vitiligo or something. But then I was like, I couldn't really make it look reasonable, so I was just like, okay, we'll leave that as it is. But yeah, my friends did some really great ones as well. Like this, there was a nice hair ribbon one, or like a person, they look like they're sort of like dancing. I really like this sort of pattern that we got. Obviously you can't see what I'm talking about, so I know this is for my own sort of self-affirmation is not the right word, but enjoyment, self-fulfillment. My friend did like this polka dot sort of like box of tissues. My friend, I have a friend of his letter opener, which looked like some sort of like seedy advisor to a king or royal. I'm not sure. And then my other friend did a stop sign, which was basically like a tsundere. What can I say? She draws a lot of anime girls. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really interesting thing because I remember when I was much younger, I saw, like, I can't remember who the artist is, maybe I can find it, but Pokemon Gijinkas are very, very common. But there's someone who basically did Gijinkas of like the entire Pokédex or something, and it was really, really fun to look at. I don't know if everyone's who's most known for it or anything, but is this him? No. I don't know if I'll be able to find an artist now, but I remember seeing them probably on like a 9gag or something and being like, whoa, these are so cool. Oh, is this it? Is this the artist? No. It's hard to remember because the art style is obviously very Pokemon-esque. So I can't quite remember what they look like, but I don't know. That was my first exposure to Gijinka, or anthropomorphization. But it's also a very common thing if you don't know that people will make original characters based off anthropomorphization of objects, but they're called object head characters, which is basically kind of like they put an object on the head of a human body, essentially. And there's a lot of really cool ones, to be honest. I'm trying to think of, what's the most famous object head character? There's that, there's a guy who's a clock, and he like wears a suit or something. I can't remember where he's from though. Oh, Kane's actually a great one from Digital Circuits, right? Because he's like a talking mouth. Oh, come on, just think of internet fandoms. What's his name from Husband Hotel? I don't know. Vox, that's it. TV person. But yeah, but they basically just put like an object as a character's head, and then it seems very common that people basically put the humanoid part of it as like a suit. Like, it's always very classy. I'm not sure why it's as common as it is. But I don't know. Like, I've followed quite a few artists who do those sort of things, and I think it's very fun, to be honest. Because it's basically like, just draw a human, but then instead of drawing a face, just do an object. Even better when you can have the object sort of themed after. The clothes and the person, the human part of it, themed after the object chosen in the first place. I don't know why suits are so popular. Like, I'm now on a Pinterest thing and like half of these are suits. Although I think this is someone's favourite album, so they probably just like suits. I don't know, I guess there's just something very classy about it, isn't it? It sort of feels like a Tumblr sexy man trope, as they say. But I also appreciate it for the fact that it's like, oh yeah, you can basically draw a person, but you don't, and do some like clothing designs, fashion designs, which I think are always really fun. But then you don't have to go through the trouble of actually figuring out the human head. Establishing like a necessary art style. Well, I mean, there'll always be like a little bit of an art style, but more so, you won't have to like draw a face and it'd be like, oh no, it's too uncanny. It doesn't make perfect sense or whatever. Yeah. Oh, this is a great one, which I remember. Is this a person who made it? It's uploaded to their Weasley. Crown, or Crown, I guess, but with two V's. There's someone who did it for Homestuck. Oh my god, this is such a long thing to sort of summarize down, but basically in Homestuck, one of the things which happens is everyone gets a fantasy land, which is specifically assigned to them. And only them. It's actually one of the coolest concepts, I think, in Homestuck. I love Homestuck for a lot of their world building. The fact you get a fantasy land which is based around you and it's meant to sort of like challenge you in one way or another, or bring out the best in you, or make you sort of overcome your own shortcomings to become a better person, or in some ways it even just synergizes with who you are at the moment. Basically, it's a representation of your own character journey and growth that you need to go on. And then also Homestuck has the whole classes and aspect as well, which is meant to challenge you. It's basically a Buildings Roman sort of game, except for it also causes the apocalypse. But it's such a delicious concept for a young adult, like, genre. Or teenage genre, because that's the thing where it's like, oh, you know, imagine if you got given a land and a class and there's basically quest, improve yourself for the better. Having it so detailed out like that is nice. Anyway, this person, I remember stumbling upon their art ages ago. They made object head personifications of each of these special lands, and they're absolutely fantastic. They just really well encapsulate exactly the concept of each of the lands. And like I'm looking at these, which one's my favourite out of the beta kits? What was it? Lands of Light and Rain? Is that Rose's one? I mean, it is Rose's one, but I can't remember what it stands for. I can't remember what John's one's called. Land of... But this is the question. How much can I remember Homestuck? I think it's like Land of Shade and something, but I can't remember what. Land of Light and Rain. Dave's one is what? Land of Heat and Cogs. And Jade's, I think, is Land of Frost and Frogs, which is also a really cute one. But I love it because it's just like a flex on fashion, but like really extreme fashion and aesthetics. Make it even more interesting. And then they did all the trolls as well. So this is Karkat's one, I don't remember it. Land of Lava and Blood or something like that. Or Magma and Blood. Nepta's Little Cats and Tea, which is a very cute one. New look style. Retro sort of skirt which goes outwards. And Vriska's ones, what's this, like treasures and maps or something? It's very pirate-esque. Land of Raisin Frogs. This is Ganaya's one. Oh, there's no frogs on here, weirdly enough. Aradia's one. What's it? Land of Crystals and Melodies is what comes to mind. Stavros is Windmills and something? I don't remember. Now Eridan's one, that's sick. It's like the black and white land is very sort of like gothic cathedral-esque. Plus it looks like a Dark Souls boss. It's definitely Land of something and Angels, I think. I can't remember what though. Maybe it's like Wrath and Angels. I don't remember this one's for fairies. I generally have no recollection of what hers is. I think it's glass and something, because it's a fishbowl, isn't it? Mrs. Solix's one, Brains and Fire, I remember that one. I don't know why I remember that one specifically. What's Terezi's? I don't remember Terezi's at all. What's this one? I think this must be Equius's, but I don't remember his one either. I don't remember Gamzee's. I'm looking at these, I don't remember them. And then the Alpha Kids, where each of them have a noble gas and then something. Crypts and Helium, Pyramids and Neon, Mounds and Xenon? I can't remember this one. Tombs and Krypton or something. I'm gonna look them up. How accurate was I? Homestuck lands. Anyway, these planets. Designs just go so hard. Like what a flex. But I will also say a lot of these are suits. All the Alpha Kids and variants on suits. Well, actually no, Jane's isn't. But this one's got a cool like butterfly lapel or something. Is that what it's called? Butterfly lapel. No, these are lapel pins. Must be called something else. But the one where it's like the two lapel. No, let's look this up actually. Types of lapels. Notch lapel? Yeah, I know about one. Peak lapel. Shore lapel. There's more types of lapels. Like, what the heck is this? I don't know. It's like a made up one or something. This one is a double-breasted suit. That's also a suit. These were also suits. Well, this one's a waistcoat and suit. Yeah, I don't know. But what a fun sort of exercise to do. Orlando Wind and Shade, that's it. I do remember Shade. Light and Rain. Heat and Clockwork. Is that what I said? I don't remember. Frost and Frogs, I got. Crypts and Helium. Pyramids and Neon. Tombs and Krypton. Mounds and Xenon. I think I said those correctly. Quartz and Melody, that's it. Sand and Zephyr, okay, that one I would not remembered. Brains and Fire got. Pulse and Haze, straight up did not remember that one. Little Cubes and Tea. Rays and Frogs. Port and Flow. I don't remember that. Maps and Treasure. Caves and Silence. Tents and Mirth, oh yeah. Wrath and Angels. Oh, so this one's a Wrath one. Dew and Glass. I don't know, they're just so fun. Just such fun concepts. Land of Colours and Mayhem. I don't remember this one. But yeah, what fun concept objects heads are. Anyway, we made some anthropomorphized inanimate objects, and therein lies the fun. On that note, I'm going to round this episode up here. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.